Alright, welcome to another edition in the eternal joust between Gratex the Dark and Inmendum the Black. Yes, it's been an exciting fight going on for some time now. Two fellas who really don't disagree about much, but what they do disagree about, they really disagree about. And so it gets all violent and everything. It's all, ooh, scary. So, here we go. Let's get into it. I have notes. Really good notes. They go this way, and then they go that way, and then they go down, and there's little boxy things and everything. So, here we go. Yeah, well, look, me and Gratex, yes, we agree about a lot of stuff. Yes, it's really, we do. We agree about a lot of stuff that we're just psychology, we're program psychology. It all has to do with how this thing evolves, this whole psychology of culture, and the natural disposition that's that culture's got to move through in our consciousnesses as we progress as a thing into the future, as an idea, a notion. But there are just a couple of, there's these fundamental missing ingredients or whatever, or unresolved issues. He'll still use words like amazing and stuff like that and talk about like it really means, like a word like that means something. Like we're amazed, like, oh, we're awed, oh, we're impressed, oh, does that mean anything? No. But anyway, it really just has to do with a style thing. So he's like, yeah, let's beat humanity over the head with poofy stuffed animals until they comply to reality. And I'm just like, yeah, let's just get over with. Drop the bricks on them. Fuck this bullshit. Find some ton of bricks and drop it on them, and let's get to it. Let's get to dealing with reality instead of playing this game that we have to warm and fuzzy it, because it just isn't going to happen. So yeah, he threw out some generic line like, oh, you catch more flies with sugar than vinegar. There's not enough sugar in the universe to sweeten the truth, okay? You just can't do it. It's a bitter fucking pill. There's just no way around it. It's a bitter pill. The truth is that, yes, we've been designed by insane forces. I mean, fucktarded, stupid, ignorant, preposterously dumb. I mean, find a verbiage for it. All right, no neurons. Okay, the system that built us had no neurons. It had no brain, no central nervous system. All right, it's just dumb, crude forces, and they create this reproducing DNA molecule, and from then on, boom, you have this capacity for all this bizarre shit to happen. And that's the truth of it. And there's no reason to have any prospect that those dumb forces would create wisely. And so consciousness has been placed in a circumstance that is ludicrous for consciousness to be in. It's insane for it to be in vessels that aren't eternal, that are continually and perpetually harassed, and that, even worse, become intelligent enough to know better than their bodies, to become intelligent enough to know better than their desires and what they've been built to feed on. That's how ludicrous this has become. But that's because it's a construction, a contrivance by ignorant, dumb forces.
By Gratex's perception, there can be no harsh revolution. There must be some sort of soft revolution. Because all harsh revolutions in the past have failed. Well, I would argue they failed because they were all built on shit. It's like why all religions are built on shit. The human psychology hasn't had an opportunity to get it right. We finally have that opportunity. We finally, in the last couple of hundred years, have gleaned enough facts and figures out of reality, out of our circumstances, to be able to describe where the hell we are and what we're doing here, and what this vessel is, and what the goop is, and what the whole stupid thing is doing. And it's doing absolutely nothing. It is just a cheese-chasing game. It's a maze game designed by a DNA molecule. And unfortunately, at best, if we really take all our mental energy and put it together, we can create ourselves a nice virtual pyramid, and we can play in there, and it'll be a little utopia for the consciousness. But it'll mean absolutely nothing. It'll be a non-accomplishment. The real purpose is to get rid of the blood and the guts. I mean, there really can't be any other logical conclusion if we really look at what we are. I use this analogy a lot. It doesn't seem to affect people. It doesn't seem to sink in. And it doesn't seem like it's all that harsh or disgusting, but let's go for it. we're basically born when we're brought into this thing, as a conscious entity. What we are brought into it with is need, with a deficit, a deprivation, okay, an addiction, an attachment, a want. Come up with more words. You can do it. And it is through our lives that we try to fill what essentially is that hole that was drilled into us at birth. And at best, we don't fill in the whole hole. And then on top of that, we have this extra burden of this added suffering and other crap that's going to end up falling on us. So we're going to have some other things through life that's going to be drilling other holes in us, other pieces of deprivation and horror. And we can barely deal with the one we've been built with. The basic one that you're going to need to eat and have sex and do this and do all these little things in your life to have any kind of hope of satisfaction or comfort. And we can't even do that. We can't even fill the original hole completely, and we're stuck having all these extra holes drilled into us by things eating at us, just like we're eating. And so he's right, yes, we are parasites. He's at least conceded that notion. But what he won't concede is that the designer is out of its fucking mind. He won't concede that. And he'll say there's no solutions because he won't even acknowledge that there are constructs that we can build for human consciousness that are solutions, and that we can build roads to that future that can be described as solutions. And they're there. They exist. There's blueprints to a better world. People haven't accepted them, but they're there. So don't say they don't exist. They exist. It's just getting them into the minds of man that is the challenge. And that's really what we're arguing about, because, like I said, we're agreeable on the first 5 steps to getting to the future, and we can't get there. All right, I mean, so that's the part that we should maybe focus on. Maybe that's the only part that's relevant, because we have to get through those first 5 steps before we can even start arguing about the last 5 or the last 50 or the last 5 million. And so in a sense, this is a moot argument, but it's one we're stuck with in a way, because this is the nature of philosophy. There's no point in not talking about it. That's suppressing the truth. But that's sort of what you're saying in your argument almost, is that we can't argue the truth. We have to fuck up the truth. We have to make it palatable. We have to make it psychologically comfortable. And I think by doing that, it'll take you so long to get to the point where people will be find it palatable before their taste will evolve enough for it to be tasty and enjoyable to suck on the truth. That's just it. That to me is a lost, a waste, because there's no point in making the investment, because we just don't have the time. That the problems of human psychology, the equations of technology and violence, there's a whole bunch of these unsustainable, harsh cliffs just sitting right out there waiting for us to just walk right the fuck over them, and we're going to do it. And we just don't have the time. We've got to turn this fucker around now. I mean, it's got to move now. I mean, hard. I mean, real big hard right. I mean, we gotta take every G-force we can take just to fucking not crash horribly. And so I say fuck these nuances, fuck the bullshit. Let's just get to the hard reality. The hard reality is our psychology has been built by shitty forces. Complete shit has built them. DNA molecule, a dumb fucking molecule, the circumstance of natural selection. An idiotic system has built us to want and need, and what we want and need. I'll try this analogy. I mean, it hasn't worked before, but I'll try it again. It's like the Olympics, okay? It just took place. This whole big preposterous thing, all these people with all this fucking passion, and that's the only thing that it lives on, is the passion. Take away the audience, and what do you have? In stupid. You would have a huge investment in people doing preposterous, stupid, idiotic things. So without the money and the glory, they wouldn't invest the time. They wouldn't invest the work. They wouldn't sacrifice, risk having their necks broken and their this, that, and all the rest of it, because there'd be nothing to gain from it. It's a stupid and pointless exercise. And so it's only because there's a human to be addicted to it, or a human to be attached to it, or a human to feed off of it, that it ever makes any sense. And that's the only way we make life make any sense, is if we're addicted, if we're feeding off of it, if we're feeding off some notion of it, some conception of it, meaning something that it doesn't, having a taste or a flavor or a substance that is an illusion of our brain. All right, the hamburger, a Big Mac, means nothing in the real universe if it's floating around in space. It only means something because there's some desirous human that has made it into something, because it's going to fill some deprivation in them. And so that's a horrible game, and we just got to concede it. And there's a progression. I mean, I would argue that philosophically, yes, if you take it to the extreme, an ugly conclusion is sitting out there waiting for us, and that is that, yes, blow the whole thing up, fuck it. All right? But obviously, Also, logically, we know that sentience is very important, that suffering is very important, so you don't want to blow it up in some sloppy-ass bullshit way. You don't want to half blow it up. You don't want to half kill it, just like you wouldn't want to half kill an animal, all right? You don't want to just injure it. So it's important that we don't just blow ourselves up in some stupid way. If we're going to do it, let's do it deliberately and right, or fuck doing that. And so if we're stuck here because too many people are too addicted to let go, well then let's be stuck here in a more rational fucking world, in a world we construct, not a world constructed by ignorant, dumb forces. And
Okay, anyway, so I think that's enough said. So, till next time, till the next time we trollop, trollop, what's the word for horses when they gallop? But anyway, we'll go down our little course and stick our little pointy sticks at each other and see what happens. But I really, you know, let's really be careful where we define the argument. And I think it's just stupid to say, you know, I think you're exaggerating the difference between us. You have plenty of hostility for human fucktardedness, and I don't think I'm being all that aggressive. I think what's happening is that the real heathens, the people who will never accept the truth, they're too selfish, too greedy, too full of themselves. They're the ones exaggerating the horror that is me, because I am no horror.